Happy Saturday, good people. Welcome to another edition of Double Innocence with your boy E-Dub here. Gem dropper, definite showstopper. Now, I'd have to say that the NBA has gotten a little interesting, wouldn't you say? With the different trades and acquisitions that have happened. And I'm kind of curious to see exactly how everything is going to pan out. You know, you have the Golden State Warriors that acquired Jimmy Butler. Now, in terms of talent, you can't go wrong with a person like a Jimmy Butler in terms of talent. But it's just the type of, it's just what he does to like the chemistry of a team. That seems to be his Achilles heel as far as I'm concerned. I mean, if you look at everywhere that he's been, he's like a minefield. He has that LeBron James effect as far as I'm concerned. He leaves organizations a hell of a lot worse than when he actually came in and met them, in my humble opinion. So I'm not quite sure exactly how that's all going to work out in Golden State. I don't know if that's going to be a good fit. But like I said, it all depends on what type of mindset Jimmy Butler comes in with. At the beginning, he's going to come in with the proper mindset, of course. He's out of a bad situation. He's playing with one of the best players in the league. Depending on who you ask, because there's even some people I consider Steph Curry to be the best player in the league. So I mean, that's a definite bonus. In terms of egos, those are two major league egos you're gonna have in that locker room right now. Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green. Those are two major league egos you're gonna have in that locker room. So I'm not sure exactly how all that's gonna really, work out, how all that's gonna fit. We just got to stand by and take a look. In terms of the Los Angeles Lakers, I mean, anybody who's watched any of my videos from beforehand, you know exactly how I feel about that particular mix. I mean, it's you have two individuals that play basically the exact same style of basketball. The only difference is that Luka, in my humble opinion, has a little bit more of a package to go to. I think he's a little bit more of an offensive threat than a LeBron James, in my humble opinion. And I know people are going to be up here talking to me about, well, who's the leading point getter? It is what it is. I'm not talking about numbers, I'm talking about game. So with that being said, I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work out. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are ways that I think that it can work. But individuals, such as the so-called king, is going to have to take a step off of his throne and take a step back from his ego in order for that to work. I believe that he would make the second unit a lot stronger. Once Luka gets his feet wet, once Luka gets comfortable, once Luka takes his assigned position on the starting role. Now, if you're going to be talking about having him and LeBron starting at the same time, we just got to wait and see how that's going to work, because they're both very ball dominant. Okay, you guys are going to tell me that, yeah, well, Luka played with Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving's a guard. Yes. He did play with him. And yes, they did end up going to the finals. But you guys got to have to understand one thing. LeBron James is not Kyrie Irving. And not because everything worked with Peter means that it's going to work with Paul. So that's another mixture. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to really work out and benefit. The Lakers did pick up a pretty dominant center, though. Now, if anybody knows anything, or if anybody's actually followed LeBron James's career, you know he's an individual that's really not about centers. Centers kind of take away from his game, in his humble opinion. They picked up a quality center, All that tells me is this is a team that they're starting to build for the Luka era. We just got to stand back and wait and see. The Lakers have been playing some pretty decent ball as of late. And on paper, they look a hell of a lot better. So now we need to see if this is going to make JJ Redick. I mean, JJ Redick is not... The man played a lot of years in the NBA, so he does know something about the game. Is he head coaching material? That's up for debate. Toronto Raptors went and made an acquisition. They brought in Brandon Ingram. Anybody that watched any of my videos in the past, I give my humble opinion on Brandon Ingram. I've been hearing about the potential this cat has to offer for years, since he was drafted by the Lakers, if I'm not mistaken. He was an individual you always heard about how good this guy is and will be. Now, did he get a raw deal with Los Angeles once the hostile takeover was completed by the proclaimed king? Absolutely, because that team was a young team. They were up and coming, and I believe if they were given enough time, they would have been able to gel and make a little bit of noise. That was taken away from them. He was traded to New Orleans, where it's an organization where you hear about them when you hear about them, at least up in these neck of the woods. So he's not getting that much airtime. He's not getting that much anything. Still, he does have a certain type of effect on games, but it's not that dominant superstar that we've been hearing about. We've been hearing the potential that he could possibly be. So I'm not really sure exactly how I feel about that particular acquisition. But out of the three teams that I just mentioned, in terms of the trades and the acquisitions, believe it or not, wow, I can't believe I'm really saying this. Believe it or not, out of the three teams and the three deals that I've just discussed, the Lakers got the best. Like if I had to, put them in numeric order, I'd have to put Lakers number 1, Golden State number 2, and Toronto number 3 with the acquisitions. Absolutely. Never thought I'd be saying that on a team that LeBron plays on. But hey, you know what? I try my best to not be a hater when I come up here and talk about these things. I try my best to not sound like a hater. And if by chance I do come across as that, well, hey, you know what? That's definitely not my intentions. I'm just an individual that just loves watching the sport of basketball. Loves everything that basketball has to offer. And when I see it, injustice being done to the sport that I grew up loving, I have no choice. I need to speak on it. When I see stuff happening in the league that really doesn't make much sense to me, then I have to come up and I have to ask questions about it. So does that put me in the hating category because I choose to do so? Well, that's a loaded question for a lot of individuals that might have a lot of different answers. And I'm okay with that. I believe I've explained my position where LeBron James is concerned, where I may sound like a hater when I talk on him, but the only thing that I really quote unquote hate is when they want to kind of compare and erase. When they want to compare him to greats that came before him, and they want to try and erase the history and the accolades that the ones before him put forth. That's what I dislike. That's what I hate. I'm not an idiot. I watch the game. I see what LeBron James has to offer to the game. I see what he does. The good, the bad, the indifferent. Do I think he's a great player? If, like I said before, numbers don't lie. So there is some greatness to LeBron James. The debate I have, the question I continue to battle, the question I continue to decimate at every single chance I get, is he the greatest of all time? And to that I say absolutely hell, without a shadow of a doubt, no. Once again, if that puts me in the category of being a hater, I'm okay with that. I can live with that. Because at the end of the day, I'm just one man with an opinion. And I just happen to be one man with an opinion that has a channel on a YouTube page that's able to exercise that opinion. I'm okay with that. I'm content with that. I'm fine with that. But this is the week with all the acquisitions that all the teams made. We should start seeing whether or not they paid off this week. Because, I mean, like, you know, a lot of teams that picked up players and stuff like that, they haven't played yet. I mean, Luka hasn't played. Jimmy Butler in the game that I saw with Golden State the other day, he didn't play in that game. Brandon Ingram didn't play in the game with Toronto last night. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, starting from like maybe this evening, although I did hear Luka's not playing this evening. He's not ready to go yet. I guess he has to get his conditioning under, you know, where if you're a professional athlete or whatever the case would be, I understand you were injured, but you still should have been doing stuff. You should be ready to go when you're ready to go. You shouldn't be coming back from an injury and now we got to wait for you to get yourself back into shape kind of thing. Like, you should have been able to been working on that while you were trying to recoup from your injury, in my humble opinion. Because it's not like we're asking you to do it for free. You get paid for that. But that's another story for another day. Luka ain't ready to go. So, that being said, starting this week, we should start seeing the Jimmy Butlers. We should definitely start seeing Brandon Ingram's still injured. So I'm not sure exactly what it looks like on his time schedule. But we'll be able to give all these trades a grade at the end of this week. With that being said, people, I want you guys to share. I need you guys to like. And hey, hit those subscribe buttons, man. Help this channel grow. Just like LeBron James, man. WNSA ain't going nowhere. We're going to be around here to talk our mess on a daily, regular basis. Have yourself a blessed day, guys. Happy Saturday. Deuces.